Hello and welcome to the second part in this two-part series on artificial intelligence and innovation, sponsored by SmartStream Technologies. I have with me today Andreas Burner, who is Chief Innovation Officer at SmartStream. He is over from Vienna. And Andreas, welcome and thanks very much for spending some time with us today. Now, we discussed AI, we discussed the innovation lab that Andreas heads up in Vienna. That's in the first part of this two-part series. Now, the second part, what we're going to be talking about is innovation generally and how SmartStream as an organization goes about fostering and surfacing innovation throughout the entire organization. So the first question to you then, Andreas, is on that, specifically on that subject. Do you want to talk a little bit about the importance of innovation to SmartStream as a company, but also how, what does the company do to ensure that innovation kind of filters upwards through the organization and it's identified and then acted upon and positively impacts the company's services and products?
Mm-hmm. So for me, innovation is an end-to-end process in a company. So it's not enough to create an innovation lab. You need all the departments to support that lab, and you need the support of senior management, which is really great in SmartStream. So we ensure that by, as I said, we are working closely together with clients, but on products. So we need very early an integration to our products. So we have the product teams coming in to the lab, and we collaborate with them on the specific use case. So we have the product people already understanding at very early stages what we do. And let's say the POC is successful, then the question is, how do you get it back to the product centers? Because we had the people very early in, they already understand what we are doing. And we bring them in again, they work with us, and they get all our know-how back to the development center, and we continue. But that's only part of it. So for an organization, you have also to get sales in place, pre-sales, professional services, marketing. Everybody needs to do this step with you, right? Yes. So we do trainings, we work together closely with sales and marketing, so they understand how our focus is. So for me, innovation, as I said, is really an end-to-end product until it really reaches our products and it gets to a wide range of clients.
Okay, good. Now, in the first part of this interview, we talked a little bit about AI. You mentioned machine learning and natural language processing. What are there any other innovative technologies or kind of technologies that sit under the innovation umbrella, really, within SmartStream that you're looking at right now, with the view to maybe folding into existing technologies at the business?
So one of the interesting technologies beside AI is, of course, distributed ledger technology and blockchain. We are looking at that very closely. We had a POC with our product and Ripple last year, which was successful. Yep. So now our products are blockchain ready. Yep. But there's more to blockchain than just a message gateway or a payment system. It's again about innovation. You can have workflows on the blockchain. You can have smart contracts on the blockchain. Yes. And if you look at the SmartStream portfolio, it's very close to a blockchain offering. Right. So of course we look into that. Yes. I'm recruiting people right now in that area. Right. We have a strategy which is confidential, of course, because it's really an important step for SmartStream. But that will be something that will be shown in the next month, I'm sure.
And of course, the other benefits of something like distributed ledger, for example, provides you with far greater transparency, auditability. You've got your audit trail, and of course, so much more kind of robustness, and the process is all there. So I should imagine, are they, do you want to maybe comment on certain business processes that would be perfect for blockchain? Maybe, I've always thought that reconciliations would be absolutely perfect, you know, to be to be underpinned by some sort of blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology. Mm-hmm. So is there anything that kind of jumps out at you that thinks, yes, that you think, yes, that's absolutely perfect for DLT?
Mm-hmm. So at the beginning, when blockchain was published, it was thought to be a disruptive technology. And if there's a nice report from Deutsche Bundesbank, and they said which are the first areas that will be disrupted, and one of those is reconciliation. Yes. Now when we looked at it closer, that's actually not really true. What you see is that reconciliation just moves between two parties to within the bank. They still have to reconcile their books and their messages. Yes. So there will be a lot of change, and we see that. But it will not disrupt the business. So whenever you have applications where you see our clients working together, collaborating, it's actually a blockchain application. And we have that. We have that in collateral management. Yes. We have that in corporate actions. We have that in different areas with reconciliation. Yes. So we really appreciate that technology.
Good, good, excellent. Okay, now we're going to move on to talk about innovation as a kind of a cultural challenge within the firm. You touched on it in the at the top of this video, but do you want to talk a little bit about, do you see it as to what extent is it a cultural thing, and how as an organization does SmartStream go about addressing that? Because obviously it doesn't help if people are resistant to adopting innovation, right?
Sure. So maybe I switch the domain a bit to make it easier to explain. Right. So in the medical domain, what we see nowadays is that when you detect breast cancer, a machine learning algorithm is outperforming radiologists. So that's interesting. Yep. And radiologists, they're looking for clear characteristics. They're looking for dense tissues, for inconsistencies, yes. And they can explain why they think a surgery is needed or not. Right. And then there's this super cool new stuff, deep learning, where you just put the picture as an input, yes. into a black box actually, yes. And what comes out is a score. And the question now is that acceptable to a person that needs surgery, that you just say, you might have 80% breast cancer or not. Yeah? Yes. And so the question is about responsibility and interpretability. Yes. And the community in the machine learning domain, they try to work on that. They try to make it explainable how deep learning works and what it does. Yes. At the moment, we are not there. Yes. So coming back to the financial domain, yes. It's very similar. When somebody is applying for a loan, for example, you have to fill in your salary, if you're married or not, whether you have kids. So if the loan is not accepted and the person asks now, why is it not accepted? And the bank says, well, it was our deep learning black box that said you cannot have your loan, it will not be accepted. Yes. So in the fintech banking area and also in large corporates, there's the responsibility to explain things and not apply the new cool stuff that might work or might yes. not work. Yes. But we have to go back to use technologies that we know how they work, how they have decided, and how the outcome was computed. And I think so for some parts you can use deep learning, for others you cannot. Yes. And that is the craft of machine learning, to understand where to use it and where not to use it.
Okay, yeah. Good. All right, Andreas, final question to you, and that is, so to what extent will AI technology support SmartStream's existing applications. So for example, around cash and liquidity management, off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe reconciliations. Those are two platforms that are widely used in the industry. So to what extent will the technology be used to enhance those processes that sit under those offerings? And I suppose a really big question is, when do you think that might happen?
So cash and liquidity is one of the nicest use cases, to be honest,
right.
Because you have a lot of data. As I said, analytics is wonderful. For example, if you look at the use case that payments might come in late from time to time,
yes.
It's so important for a cash and liquidity manager to understand why that is, or when a payment, he thinks a payment should come in, to what percentage it comes in. So he can manage his liquidity
yes.
according to that. And also in cash and liquidity, there's a lot of regulatory requirements. Basel III requests the banks to monitor the market, the currencies, the counterparties,
yep.
which is a lot to do. But with machine learning, it's quite a nice application, because what machine learning can do, it will understand how a market behaves in normal times.
Yes.
And when it behaves differently, it means there's a stress in that market.
Yeah.
So we are very much working together with our clients to understand what is a stress, how can we train machine learning to understand how a market behaves normally, how they want to be alerted, because that helps them a lot with the regulatory requirements.
Yes.
And then when you have such a model, how a market behaves, that same model can also help you to predict the market. So a cash and liquidity manager can then ask questions like, how is my balance in 2 days at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yes.
And the model will come up with a balance,
yes.
because it understands the market. So that's a great opportunity, really.
Yes.
And right now we are working on that with a very big client of ours,
yes.
On these scenarios. And we are looking for more clients to work on scenarios. So we are looking for partners, actually.
Yeah.
As I said, data is important.
Yes.
And our plan is that in Q4 we will show the first prototypes.
Okay.
We will show what we can do.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that.
So that's probably 3 months away then, which
sure.
is, that is very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, Andreas, thank you. Let's leave it there. As I mentioned, this is the second of a 2-part video series with SmartStream's Technologies, Andreas Burner, who is the firm's Chief Innovation Officer. The first part of this 2-part series is on the website as well. You should be able to find it alongside this video. Thank you all very much for watching this, and I look forward to catching up with you in the not too distant future. Thank you.